right, let's solve some problems. We got some people doing some great content out there.
Today, Apple is changing the world with spatial computing with their Apple Vision.
But some other people were asking some questions. So let's look at the feed. Ishmael wants to know, will these work once outside the US? So yeah, if you purchase a pair of Apple Vision Pros inside the US and you take it outside, there's no region lock on this device, but there is an asterisk to some services like AppleCare Plus might not necessarily be available, or some apps that are third party especially may not be available in all countries. But in general, your experience on the Apple Vision Pro will be very similar to the United States. Next, can you buy me an Apple Vision Pro to ship one of these? I do want to refer you. The Mondiant Initiative is a nonprofit where Mr. Mac has sent Apple computers over to students who are in that program. It's a really important nonprofit that works to give scholarship education, specifically to refugee students. Most of the students are refugees currently residing in Rwanda, but we actually have one student who came from Uganda this past year. She's really bright. She got in because she basically showed up to the interview with an app she built from scratch with no education, like just really bright. And it's very exciting to continue to do this work. So Mania Initiative, take a look at that. Next. Okay, Heroes in Zeros says, remote does not seem to be able to control iTunes anymore. This is a huge disappointment, and I use it daily to control the music in my workshop. What a great use case. Why would Apple remove a feature that worked flawlessly? But any suggestions for workarounds? Man, I wish I had great news on this. The iTunes remote app, got a copy of it here, right? So if you launch it, basically, this is a kind of a smaller community that uses this app on the phone. And for a long time, it's had a equivalent app on your watch, and that would allow you to go directly like he's doing. He's in his workshop, and you want to change a song, you just skip it, hops over to your Mac, and then progresses the music. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm hurting for you guys because it's such a small community that use this app, but it was a significant loss in watchOS 10 to 11. So the question is, why would Apple remove a feature? Recent news seems to suggest that Apple, they're making their own Wi-Fi Bluetooth chip, leaving Broadcom. They left Intel for their M series. They're leaving Broadcom for their own Wi-Fi Bluetooth. That does seem to suggest that maybe the airport is coming back, which I'm kind of pumped about. Like, let's bring those time capsules back. And so that could support something that we already see with Alexa, where you have the other Alexa devices also act as handoffs. And we're expecting Apple cameras. So all of this may support the transition into having more of a home hub that commands everything, and the iTunes remote could potentially have got in the way. But I might have hope for you. Now, there is precedent for Apple potentially bringing this feature back. I mean, if we could do it with MagSafe, if HDMI ports showed up, if the hardware showed up, certainly we can get a software revival and something like this. In the meantime, you may try some alternatives. This one here, I actually really like the look of it. This is not a paid promotion, certainly, because this is untested. So I can only vouch for it up to the $10 investment you may choose. But the community seems to like this as an alternative. It's not going to be as simple as the great iTunes remote was in controlling the Mac. It's going to have a lot more functionality, but maybe you could find a way to use this, or there's also another application that people seem to like. It's just called Remote Plus, to see if these might be good alternatives. And if you find one, let us know. Comment on this original page, come comment on our page. Just get the word out. Like, this is a great alternative and it works for me. And we can fuss at Apple along the way.